Hey, this is Notser, and this is the user replay of the week. Alelos is in the Tier 4 Soviet destroyer, Izyaslav. Now, we're not just doing one this week, we're doing two. The next one will be in the Kongo, but while we are moving towards the enemy, if you have a user replay, please submit it to notserreplay@gmail.com. Please have the replay file, in-score screenshots, 1 to 2 sentence summary, and the ship in the title of the email. That would be very helpful. If you cannot garner a masterclass game, please share an amazing moment. All you have to do for that is provide a timestamp for when the moment occurs in the game. I really appreciate everyone's support. There's just not enough time in the day to commentate everyone's replay and share it with you all. If your replay was not selected this week, maybe it will be selected next week. So, Alelos, I'm 100% sure that that is not the correct pronunciation, but I just don't have a really good direction. The player is from Greece. It's very obvious the player is from Greece. So we're just going to say in an ignorant American accent, Alelos, and deal with the consequences. He sees an enemy Phoenix, and he's going to send his torpedoes. Also, start working on his guns. Now, I've heard great things about this particular destroyer, and I didn't really give a lot of time with it. I was so interested in moving forward and trying other ships at the time. But this game is pretty amazing. That's why I shared it. The Phoenix has an idea that there are torpedoes coming, and he's trying everything in his power to avoid taking any of them. But I don't think that's going to work. He is still too broadside. Oh, he's saved by the distance. You got lucky, Phoenix. You got lucky. Alelos is obviously not going to give up, and he's going to continue to fire. And he has lost his engine. He can choose to use his damage control. But it doesn't appear that the engine being knocked out is that big a deal. He definitely has last stand. Enemy destroyer pops a smoke, and the island is protecting him. It's an enemy Izyaslav. Now, the range of the torpedoes, pretty subpar, but the gun systems are top-notch. He's going to try again. Probably not. Go! Get out of the way! Get out of the way! Oh my! Okay, that was a shocker. He survived. He did not take any torpedoes. And he still has one more set. Aggressively attacking the smoke. This is my kind of player. This is great to see. And he's able to spot the enemy destroyer. And he's going to open up with his guns. Now, he's considering sending us, and he actually does. It did look like the enemy destroyer could head north, though. So there is a chance he's not going to hit this at all. He's detected, of course, because he has fired his guns. And any second now, we're going to know if the enemy destroyer headed north or headed south. And it looks like the enemy destroyer did indeed avoid the torpedoes, probably by going north. And it's a little dangerous down here. They only have 3 ships. Who knows how many enemy ships are out there? We know at least 2, and now they just lost another ship. It's just him and a cruiser, and the Izyaslav has come back, and he's landed a lot of shots. Wow, a lot of shots. Probably sending torpedoes. You would never not fire your guns unless you're too busy aiming your torpedoes and trying to hit them. And he finally decides to fire. However, it's too late. And Alelos is able to avoid all of the torpedoes. First enemy victim taken out. Now, he didn't get the kill, but he contributed 98% of the kill there. Enemy Wyoming is thinking about coming around the island. That's a bit dangerous considering he knows there's an Izyaslav around the island. Now, he of course drops off, but he's visible because he's within the detection of the ship. The guns are pointed his way. And he actually fires on the wicks. I don't know if he meant to fire on the wicks, but he landed a couple shots. And that Wyoming, he's moving just slow enough that the torpedoes will probably make contact. Come on, hit the Wyoming. Yep, 1, 2, 3 torpedoes. Only 1 flood? Really? 1 flood? Whatever, he's going to use damage control. We know that. Enemy St. Louis. Now that is scary. Tons of guns. Tons of guns. And tons of health, actually. Alelos is able to avoid any fire at this precise moment. He's got a ton of islands in the way. Ooh, that Wix is shadowing him. And he's able to dodge out of the way, which is great. We don't want to take any unnecessary damage. There are a lot of enemies in this middle to south side of the map. It's very dangerous. Speaking of danger, the Wix is going into the mouth of danger. He is coming towards Alelos. What's he going to do? How is he going to deal with this? Alelos is able to knock out his propulsion. However, it does look like he has last stand. So it's all on him to avoid these torpedoes, but he's not reacting. He's too late. Boom. Devastating strike. Enemy Wix taken out. And now Alelos is alone. All alone in the south side of the map. The enemy team only has 5 ships, but they're not spotted. They're probably out there somewhere waiting. Oh, there's one. Myogi. Okay. Myogi is a tier 4 Japanese battleship. It's not the best battleship, but it's not the worst. It's pretty average. It's outside of his range. Oh, there's the Wyoming. The Wyoming that probably took torpedoes. Yeah, he had to take torpedoes. He's the one who took torpedoes, unless there was someone else out there. 3 torpedoes didn't do. Oh, maybe the Phoenix. Now this is scary. He's trying to get in position. Port side torpedoes, port side torpedoes. Oh, the Phoenix sends his torpedoes. Oh, Alelos. He just goes right in between, and the Phoenix is left with his pants down. And he devastates that Phoenix, takes him down. Man, that was close. Way too close. I'm sure that Phoenix couldn't believe his luck. Missing torpedoes at that range. Perfect angle for the Izyaslav to avoid him. You just, okay, wasn't meant to be. Next game, let's see if we can have success. So we've got 3 enemy battleships and 1 token destroyer on the enemy team. South Carolina, we already saw an enemy battleship somewhere in front, behind an island. Alelos is, of course, detected. Look how close we are. 6 kilometers. He's going to send his torpedoes against the South Carolina. And it's going to take a lot of effort for the South Carolina to actually get in range, because it's one of those slow U.S. battleships, just like the Wyoming. They have probably been going full speed, and they've just now got no. It's not that bad. Don't make jokes like that, okay? They're trying, okay? 21 knots. That's all you've got to work with for the entire line. It's just awful. But this Wyoming is making a critical mistake. He's very close to a destroyer who now has a ton of torpedoes. And of course, what's he going to do? He's going to send his torpedoes against the Wyoming. And the Wyoming isn't tracking fast enough, so he's not even going to get a shot off. And how many torpedoes is going to hit? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 torpedoes. All 6, in fact. He still has 3 more, and he's going to send them against the enemy battleship. And he's taking fire, but they're not hitting their target. You could never do this at high tier. Battleships at high tier, they punish insanely hard for any destroyer that is this close. And finally they get a shot. 1600 over penetrating. He's using AP. HE would probably be more effective at taking out the modules. More torpedoes are back up. The first set is not successful. The battleship hits another shot. And here comes another set. Really should avoid this. And he does. Good. A little bit of gun damage. He's going to continue to send torpedoes. The rearm is insane. Low tier battleships, if you're ever close to destroyers, you should cry. Because there's just going to be walls of torpedoes and torpedoes and torpedoes. There's nothing you could really do against it. The first 2 sets are unsuccessful. But the third set is still out there. Maybe it'll hit the target. Now, of course, torpedoes are back up. Why wouldn't they be? Why wouldn't they be? This Myogi is trying to consider what they want to do. Oh, he hits with the 3 torpedoes from the third set. and he earns high caliber. That's fantastic. Don't know how much damage he did. He did cause a flood. Probably going to be put out, though. Not really a big deal for the battleship. It's only a big deal if he gets another one. Now, this enemy battleship, the Myogi, is going to come into the realm of torpedoes. And the first 2 sets are sent out. Looks like the Myogi's like, okay, I realize the threat. I need to try and fit myself in. And he fits himself in to take 3 torpedoes. And of course, there are more torpedoes ready to go. Alelos earns Confederate. And the battleship's maneuvering again. Looks like it's going to hit him right on the nose. And the nose is the worst part, the worst possible part you can have a torpedo hit. There's no armor there. You should try and take torpedoes on the side if you must. And Alelos is just going to watch his prey die. And what? The South Carolina never put out the flood? He earns Double Strike, Kraken Unleashed, Liquidator, 5 kills. This is insane. He's held the South like a boss. And I don't know what the enemy team was thinking. Maybe they just were low skill. That's okay. That's completely understandable. You're not expected to be an ace. But I think it's pretty universal in every single game you'll ever play. If you outnumber them, use your numbers to your advantage. You don't want to just go willy-nilly one at a time into the mouth of torpedoes. Just look at the rearm cycle. Even if you miss, by the time your torpedoes get to the target, you will have more torpedoes. Great job, Alelos. He didn't give me the stats, though. That's fine, though. We're going to move on to the next player, who is Blank Senpai in the Tier 5 Japanese battleship, Kongo. And I know that this wasn't filmed in the Tier 5 Japanese Kongo. This was filmed in the Arpeggio of Blue Steel Kongo. So you're going to hear Iona talking about all the enemies doing whatever. But you can obviously see that the ship appears as a normal Japanese battleship. Blank Senpai sees a Königsberg, and he's going to try and engage him at extreme range. The Kongo is one of those ships where you spawn and the enemy team is in range. It's glorious, but it also can work against you because you will probably try extremely hard shots and you just won't hit it. So work your way up to a long-range shot. You don't have to take an 18-kilometer shot every single salvo. Now 14 is beautiful, and Blank Senpai does 18,000 points of damage in a citadel. Not bad indeed. One more good salvo, and that enemy Königsberg will be defeated. And the Königsberg is probably not fully aware that you can refuse to fire and run away, but you know what? It's your funeral, bud. Blank Senpai is going to send him there as quickly as he can. Let's just see how successful this is. Oh yeah. Another citadel, first blood, finished off the target. Probably could have done way more damage, but didn't need it. Now an enemy Carl. It is the Carl. It's going to always be the Carl because it's just a goofy ship, right? Nobody wants to play in the Carl. The Carl is just a means to an end, right? Everyone wants those great big German cruisers that are not the Carl. And Blank Senpai gets about 4K, which is okay. It's not as impressive as the previous ship, where the rebalancing was very real, completely devastated that target. And in fact, in this Kongo, Blank Senpai is overextended. There's an enemy destroyer, there's a couple enemy cruisers, a couple enemy battleships, and you only got probably a cruiser that's within spitting distance. It's dangerous. But if you've got them, why not flaunt them? You're going into territory unknown and you're trying to take out enemy ships. This enemy Myogi is of course showing way too much of their side. So Blank sends out a full salvo towards the enemy and only gets 4K. That was not very good. And he's re-angling against it. Okay, an enemy Kongo is also engaging. Everyone's still healthy. Everyone's still alive. We're doing good. Okay. Looks like the Carl is retreating. That's a good strategy, Carl. Don't come back, Carl. This enemy Kongo appears to be the primary target for Blank. And since he just unloaded all his shells, Blank is going to try and get a nice, clean broadside with the front. And eventually, Blank. Oh, come on, Blank. He fired everything. Be aggressive. There we go. Back guns moving into position. Fires at the waterline, of course. That's a good choice. And 3K. That was not a good trade. But it's not the end of the world. Front guns are almost ready to go. His back gun, I believe, is the next. Yep, okay, back guns fire. He's showing a ton of his side. He misses. Blank Senpai gets 7K. So it's about equal right now. He's using his heal. And we're getting into secondary battery range. This is very rare. It's always exciting, though. Just look at the secondaries start going off. Ooh, more AP ricochets. This Kongo is just wide open. Front guns can do devastating damage. And they're ready to go. Come on, Citadel him. Okay, 12,000 non-Citadel. That's pretty good. More shots into the enemy. Not as good. And we don't want to collide with this guy. We want to win. And it looks like Blank Senpai dropped his speed to prevent just that. And he's got great angling. Secondaries are going off. This is what I live for. Ah, it's so cool to see battleships fighting like this. I wish it would happen more often. He's trying to track, though. Look at this, these guys. It's a low-tier battleship. What can I say? It's hard to track. Oh, more. Only 5K. Ugh. Back guns very far away from being ready to fire. He's just trying his best. Try and keep that angling. Prevent the damage. He's actually ahead on health now. And the secondaries are doing alright. It's not spectacular, but it's better than nothing. And it looks cool. That is the most important thing. How cool do I look? Front guns are ready to go, and see you later, enemy Kongo. 15,000 points of damage. That was glorious. And we got to see secondaries going off in close proximity. It's just awesome. Now, Blank Senpai can, of course, fire on the Carl, or he could fire on the battleship. It's just north of his position. His front guns did rotate to starboard side, but you could just rotate it back. They're on turrets anyway. And he sets up a nice, clean waterline shot, and he fires his fronts. And they do all right. The accuracy was good, but the Citadel damage was not. Back guns are in position, and he continues to fire. And more great damage. Oh, that was great. 10K, no Citadel, but 10K. Is he going to get an opportunity to finish the target? The front guns are almost ready to go. Friendlies are doing everything they can to get the kill, but I don't think it's enough. Never mind. Blank's going to get terrible luck. Only 112 hit points left on that ship, and he just has to watch it die because he can't fire in time. That was really, really bad luck, man. Sorry. Maybe next time. So, the game is still extremely close. Even though Blank Senpai was doing a ton of work up in the north with his team. The nice thing about the Kongo, unlike American battleships, it can actually go somewhere if a flank is completely destroyed. So he's going to work himself towards the center of the map, take out maybe a battleship, and as he's going to do that, we're going to talk about the patch because it just dropped. Just dropped. As you're watching this in America, the home of the brave, land of the free, we get patches before Europeans. I'm so sorry, my friends. Within 24 hours, you will also enjoy the patch. Stay strong. And, of course, Blank Senpai sees an Isokaze. Why should I want to fire on the Isokaze? It's on the other side of the island, Blank Senpai. You cannot engage, but you can go after the Carl. This evil Carl. Just sailing towards your capture, and of course, all guns ready to fire. And he's going to follow it in, see how successful. Looks pretty good. Oh yeah, that's good. 11,000 points of damage. High caliber. Yeah, that's pretty good. One issue with the island is that it won't allow him to fire over it if he gets too close. There's also an enemy destroyer. The Omaha is actively engaging it. Has a huge health advantage. Well, actually, not a huge health advantage. He's got an advantage of something. Go Omaha. And Blank Senpai is trying to rotate the guns to port. We'll see if we could get a shot on the Carl before our friendly has an opportunity. It doesn't look like anyone's wanted to fire on it. The friendly aircraft carrier has dropped torpedoes on him, but he was unsuccessful. Now, front guns are ready to go, and Blank fires on the enemy Carl, who is attempting to capture his homeland. Need to stop it. Oh, that evil, dastardly Carl. He did everything in his power to avoid it. The Omaha died. How is this possible? Well, I think Blank Senpai, you need to look at protecting yourself because you will not enjoy the torpedoes. And I think he actually feels the torpedoes. He feels them. They're out there. They should be coming. Blank Senpai drops his speed to 0. Absolute 0. He also calls in the scout plane. And here are the torpedoes. How inconvenient for the Isokaze that Blank Senpai has played this game once or twice. He's able to completely avoid it, and the Isokaze doesn't know the threat that he's about to run into. These guns are ready to go. Come on, take him out. Yes. No more torpedoes for you. The Carl is still alive. However, he has taken a couple of shots from the friendly. Looks like the Wyoming will actually... Yep, Wyoming has leveled the playing field. Good job, Wyoming. Enemy dive bombers don't do too much damage. Only one fire. Okay. One fire is fine. He chooses to use damage control because there's not really any enemies out there that could relight his fire or drop torpedoes. He also uses his last heal. That's important. There are 2 battleships, a cruiser, and an aircraft carrier still out there, with his team having 3 battleships. Now, watching this replay just brought back so many great memories of the Kongo. I loved this ship. I can't wait to participate in more Arpeggio Blue Steel missions. North America doesn't have it yet, but I just love the Kongo. It's a great ship. Now, this enemy New York, perfectly broadside. Come on, Blank Senpai, balance this guy. And he fires on his position with his front guns. And it doesn't do anything. And unfortunately, this island is getting in the way. The enemy New York, of course, fires. We saw the flash. Now, do we feel the thunder? No. No, it ricochets off the side because of the great angling by Blank Senpai. But he doesn't have the opportunity to fire on the New York. He's going to have to wait for the New York to go through that gap, which isn't recommended. A narrow gap, predictable direction. I think our hero will be able to find a lot of success, and he's going to rotate that ship, get them all into this shot. It's going to be a close range shot too. 6 kilometers on a broadside target. Don't make me look stupid. Come on, Blank Senpai, take this guy out. And he does a little peek. How many people try and peek over their monitor whenever people do that? All guns ready to go, and he fires. New York not looking at him at all, and he has rebalanced this New York. Something like 20,000. Great, great shot. Earned Confederate, and of course he got the kill. That's the most important thing. Get the kill. And he looked cool doing it too. Now the St. Louis, and a Wyoming, and the aircraft carrier. That's it. The St. Louis is about 10 kilometers away. Showing a perfect broadside. We should be able to penetrate this guy. So, of course, Blank Senpai sends out another big salvo. And it does 2k damage. Really? Really, game? Okay, okay. That's cool. That's cool. Clearly the ship is like a turtle. You've got to get close to it, turn it upside down, and stab it in the stomach. So he's got his guns ready to go. He's aiming at the waterline, of course. The St. Louis is chain firing. And Blank unloads all guns on the target. Probably let him a little bit too much. Remember, the St. Louis is a very slow cruiser. And he only hit one shot. Wow. What terrible luck. Absolute terrible luck. Thankfully, the St. Louis isn't doing that much damage. And for a split second, Blank Senpai is going, you know what? I'm going to go after the Wyoming because this isn't working. But of course he goes back because it's only 5 kilometers. And he fires again at the waterline. 2,700 points of damage. If you calculate the time it's taken to reload all of these guns, this St. Louis has tanked the most damage of any enemy ship. That's just ridiculous. And he's probably not even going to get the kill. Friendlies are trying to fire on the St. Louis. Oh, are they going to get a kill? Yes, they do. They take out that St. Louis. But the Wyoming is right there, and he's completely ignoring the closed battleship that only has 17,000 hit points. What are you doing? Well, Blank Senpai is not going to pass this up. Of course, waterline shot. And he takes out the Wyoming. Devastating strike, Kraken unleashed. And that's pretty awesome. Now, the Wyoming had a great opportunity to fire on a broadside target. I don't know why he refused to fire on the Kongo. Don't make that mistake, please. Yes, aircraft carriers are like giant loot piñatas, but they can't fire back at you. Take out the battleship. So, as we're speeding on over to the enemy aircraft carrier because there's nothing going on, I can assure you that he's going to try and fire. He gets one citadel on the enemy Langley very quickly, but then it drops off. Gone. Where are you? There's only a minute left. He tries a blind fire, but not successful. And then here we go. Okay, back to regular speed. There is 29 seconds left in this game. Can he take out the Langley? It's only the slowest ship in the game. He fires everything at the Langley. Gets a citadel. Nice. 12,000 points of damage. But it's not going to be enough. He's got 15 seconds to reload these guns, and there's only 10 seconds left in the game. Nice try. Is he going to die? That would be really bad. Please don't die. He's going to take one. Yeah. He's cool. He's cool. So, Blank Senpai, pretty good game. He earned Dreadnought, Confederate, First Blood, Kraken Unleashed, 2 devastating strikes, high caliber, 5 kills, 10 citadels. He did around 2,447 base XP. Look at how much he crushed everyone on both sides. He did around 200,000 points of damage. 200,000 points of damage in a Tier 5 match. That is extremely impressive. Just a fantastic job, Blank Senpai. Thank you, Alelos, as well. However, provide the stats, please, next time. Both games were exciting, and I felt like they had to be shared. I hope you enjoyed both. I hope everyone enjoys the patch who gets it, and then the Europeans enjoy it after that. It's so funny. But really, I hope everyone has a fantastic day, and I'll catch you next time. I love you guys in Europe. Stay strong. Patch will come tomorrow.